breaking this down, and we have someone who will be helping us make sense out of all this. And you know how we do it. We serve you all the juicy details as far as sports business is concerned. And of course, we've got something from the FIFA president who was on a courtesy call on Seychelles. Yeah, we'll have you that inset on today's show. If you're ready, I'm ready, and let's go. That will be after this time out.
Fantastically finished.
Welcome back straight to the sports business news. The Premier League is likely to make an additional 60 games available for broadcast in an attempt to drive up the price in its next domestic rights auction. In the meantime, Sky Sports, BT Sports and Amazon Prime Video currently has rights deal with the English Premier League worth £4.8 billion and run from 2022 to 2023 to 2024-2025 season. The new deal is expected to kick off in October, and a meteor package of matches is set to be made available to broadcasters with an additional rise in games from 200 to at least 260 of the total 380 fixtures each season. All right, Mitch Heath, Teamswork co-founder, says the U.S. cloud software company will accelerate its global expansion plans after raising $65 million in a Series E funding round and acquiring technology platforms Arm Software. Teamwork has raised $115 million over the past 12 months, with its overall funding total to $165 million in order to expand the company's platform, offering more than 6,000 sports, military and public safety organizations around the world. Meanwhile, Teamwork's clients include the National Basketball Association NBA, franchise Chicago Bulls, English soccer club Chelsea, and New Zealand National Rugby Union team. And to football, the Etihad is currently the 5th largest Premier League stadium in terms of capacity. It houses 55,097 fans in its present form, but City intends to increase the capacity to more than 60,000. City's proposal is about much more than adding extra seats, though. Danny Wilson, Manchester City Director of Sales, Service and Operations, says in a club statement that it is estimated by the club that the overall project, if approved by Manchester City Council, will cost in excess of £300 million. The club also wants to install a sky bar overlooking the pitch, a stadium roof walk experience, a 3,000 capacity fan zone, and a 400 beds hotel, a new club shop, and a museum. And finally, the National Football League, NFL, has hired Horizon Media as its global media agency, covering strategy, planning, activation, and measurement. Dave Borger, Vice President of Consumer Media for the NFL, says in a televised interview that the NFL previously had multiple agencies handle media strategy and the management of its digital inventory, with Horizon to now take on all those duties. It is confirmed that NFL spent the majority of its $30 million on paid media budgets on digital properties. All right, okay. Before we go to the next one, let's let you know that FIFA President Gianni Infantino paid a courtesy visit to Seychelles over the weekend. And this is what the president of the World Football Governing Body has to say about his experience there.
I'm very happy because we did everything we had to do here. We met the president, we agreed on how to invest in football, on infrastructure projects whereby the government gives the land, we will build the stadiums. But more importantly as well, what can we do for our youth here in Seychelles. We started Football for Schools project. We invest in talent development scheme. And of course, we'll host the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup in 2025. So it's about big countries, but it's also about small countries. Seychelles has around 100,000 inhabitants, and FIFA is there for everyone, for the biggest countries, for the smallest countries, and football is the same. Everywhere is lived and loved with the same passion. We're not just organizing the World Cup for the big ones, men and women, but we also organize football all over the world, and this is thanks to people like Elvis Chetty, the president of the Football Federation of Seychelles, his team, his staff, his executive, and all those all over the world who do exactly the same. So I'm very happy, and I'm looking forward to many more visits in many more countries all over the world, big and small.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's Sport Exchange. Like I told you earlier, it's going to be a different version of the show today because we've got a twist to it. Today, in focus, let's say on our dugout segment, in focus, I've got a co-anchor on the show today, and we will be focusing on the Premier League. The Premier League gradually winding down, and we are now at the business end of the Premier League. It is the most lucrative league in the world. Money spinning Premier League. I can't just wait to see who goes home with a title, as well as which of the clubs rather will go home with a title with the cash. Sidney Okafor joins me on the show today. He's making his debut, and he's going to be a regular. Sidney, thanks for joining me on the show. How are you?
Jide, thanks for having me. I'm so pleased, and even hearing what you just said about Manchester City now planning to extend their capacity, their stadium capacity to about 60,000 capacity. Wow, 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 wow. That was huge. That was huge. You know, Manchester United has about 75,000 capacity. And I think City now is now moving with the speed of light to hook up with them.
With their next door neighbor. They want to,
well, let's hope so. Let's see how it goes. If the council approves that,
there's something that, you know, yeah, talking about the extension and the money, 300 million pounds.
That's huge.
And that's huge. Just to extend, not to break down and start and rebuild. And there's this story around the National Stadium by people saying maybe 21 when the Minister of Sports said something like 21 million naira will be used to refurbish. What do you think? Some feel it's not the big deal, while some feel it is so much.
Well, you know, it's of different aspects. It's of different aspects. We can use the Premier League to compare our own local league here. The kind of money they made from their own league is something else. Because they make money in different aspects. They make money through their TV rights domestically and internationally. They have bonuses. They have prize money from the league. And so they have so many ways they can make money. So you can use that to really relate to our own league. But without wasting much of your time here, Jide, a new development has been really hitting up in the top 4.
Okay. That's the Premier League.
That's the Premier League, yeah.
Let's look who is going to, who are those trying to pick the title?
Well, for now, is an Arsenal title to lose.
Okay.
And it's City's title to chase. But let's hope it will not be it will not fall in the hands of City and it's fall in the hands of Arsenal, because even myself, Arsenal striker Arteta, he has really done a great thing. Previously, Arsenal played with their previous match was with West Ham, where they lost, where they played a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, exactly.
You're leading 2-0 and all of a sudden you slept off and the game came back to 2-2. It's a big blow. A big blow to Arteta.
Maybe I should also ask you this question. The game between Manchester, there is a game between Manchester and Manchester City and Arsenal that's still going. Do you think that game will be a title decider? If what do you think? What's your take on?
Well, my take on that, I would think let's just assume that it's going to be the title decider. I agree to some extent.
Okay.
Because the first leg that they played, you saw what Arsenal played fantastically. But City showed that I'm the champion. Played them, outsmart Arsenal, did everything, and they won. But this game coming, wow. I think Arteta needs to go back to drawing board and look at what he missed in the first match. Okay. And come and do that in this upcoming match. Right. Well, let's hope for the best for them. Let's hope for the best for them. Because it's their try to lose like we said the other time.
Maybe we should look at the business side of some of those who are making it happen as far as the top 4 is concerned now. Let's talk about the key players in the top 4.
The key players in the top 4 right now, if you look at it now, Bukayo Saka is one of the key players in Arsenal. And Arteta can't do without that guy right now. Then when you come to Manchester City, is Erling Haaland. Haaland is another fantastic. Sometimes people say, where did that guy get that skills from? We know his father was a footballer, but got injured when during Manchester United, and I've forgotten. I can't really recall the team his father played for, but he got injured. So right now his son has come back. He has even gone beyond what his father is doing in football. But Erling Haaland has played just how many matches so far? But his goal rate is something beyond. He has played just 27 matches so far for Manchester City, sorry. And he has been able to score about 32 goals. Wow. 32 goals. Oh my
that
God.
is at least it's just an equivalent of at least there is a goal every game. That's what it means.
Exactly. You have played lesser game and you have scored more goals. That's it. It deserves a round of applause.
Oh, yeah, I think
that's it. So now on Man U, the player that they can't do without right now is Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is phenomenal. We know Rashford is currently in form, and Rashford is doing great, but without that Bruno. Oh my God. It's going to be
there's something about Bruno. Bruno came all the way from Portugal.
Sporting Lisbon.
Sporting Lisbon. Haaland also came from
Borussia
Dortmund. They came with big money. Even Saka came from an academy. So of course you say that is for Saka. So Saka is a homegrown talent.
Homegrown player.
Yeah, the homegrown player. Also for
Newcastle,
Rashford too.
Okay, Rashford homegrown.
Exactly.
But they're doing great.
For Bruno and Haaland, those are exports, big money player. That means that for in the case of Rashford and Saka, that's just you're just getting more for little. That's why for Haaland and Bruno Fernandes.
Let's just oppose that angle.
Okay.
In time of Haaland and in time of Bruno, those two are parts. In time of Saka and in time of Rashford, the coach there, Pep Guardiola, is a masterclass in time of his tactics, his tiki-taka. He likes players that are already made. But if you look at the philosophy of Manchester United, they believe in homegrown. The same ideology goes to Arsenal. So, but the challenge, these two teams, Arsenal and Man U, have been having, they have not seen someone like Arsene Wenger, someone like Alex Ferguson, that can instill that mentality in their homegrown players. That is why you still see them seeking players outside to just chuckle up. But thanks to Ten Hag that is now in Man U, you can see there's a kind of change. But Pep Guardiola is a man that every game is a must-win for me. And he will only give you a chance, a player from an academy, if he can see that, yes, you're doing well. You can see the one of Lewis that is taking the position of Walker now. Are you seeing? He has given that guy a chance because you have seen that this guy is good. He can be. He's a promising kid, so he has given him a chance. So that's just the difference. Manchester City, Arsenal, they have an ideology of let's build our home from the scratch.
All right. Don't let us be biased. Also, let's look at Newcastle.
Well, oh my
Any
God.
of their key players, the top four already. Look at the way Nobody would, if someone had told me that at the beginning of the season that we'll be talking about
Newcastle
top 4 in the same sentence, I wouldn't believe.
Even at the dying time of the league now. Well, if you look at Newcastle currently now, I think it's only
the money from Saudi that is making the difference.
Well. Let's say the money and how well he has really tried.
Okay.
He has really tried. He's playing pattern. The coaching pattern that he has instilled in the mindset of Newcastle players is phenomenal. Okay. Are you getting it? If you see the likes of Guerrero, Bruno in the midfield, Miguel at the wing side, that guy is another player. And the funniest thing is that this Miguel we are talking about was bought from Major League, Atlanta United, with 21 million euros. He's in Premiership now. Right now, his market value is something else. So, the way he plays, the way he drives defenders, I'm sure. I don't know how to describe that guy. The guy is something else. It's something else.
MLS
something else.
to Premier League,
yeah.
And he's everywhere, setting it on fire. Okay, yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on to how much. Let's break down now to you where the cash matters now. Let's break it down.
Wow.
How much will the champion of the Premier League be taking home?
Jide, the aspects. When we're talking about that aspect, you know, a lot of people believe that Premiership is one of the richest league. Is one of the let me just say is the richest if we remove the likes of UEFA Champions League.
Okay.
So it's the richest. Currently now, the actual amount has not been decided.
Okay.
But as of last season, Manchester City claimed over 160 million pounds. But that 160 million pounds has a breakdown.
Okay.
In that breakdown now, they have the TV rights.
Okay.
They have the winner's prize. They have the bonuses.
Okay.
And in that TV rights, they have two. In that TV rights, they have a domestic rights and international rights. In the one of the domestic, they give about 50% to whoever comes to every club site. Okay. They divide the money equally to about 34.1 million pounds to each team. But how would they give this money? It is in two ways. They give you in time of your facility. That's one. And two, in terms of your position on the log.
Okay.
So if you're able to be in a better position, you know you're sure of making more money. Okay. But winning the prize of the Premiership itself is around 44 million pounds. Wow. So if you now accumulate the TV rights, the international TV rights, including domestic, the bonuses and commercial, everything will be amounting to about 160 million above. So, but this season's own, it has not yet been finalized. But no, last season was 161 million. But this season's own, we don't know yet.
All right. So okay, we'll keep a tab because that's it. We hope that the next time we come here on the show, I might ask you what's the update, because I know that as it goes, we will. And it's looking good yet because they are in prime position, talking about Manchester City for the Premiership, and it seems that they are the team to beat in the Champions League as well. More money for them. Okay.
Yeah, well, sorry, Jide, before I forget, there's another big introduction into this season's Premier League rights. Last season, the TV right was about 84 million pounds. But the beauty of this season's own is that they have introduced about 2.5 billion TV rights. And now, more money, more sharing.
All right. So finally, quickly, let's look at, this is the question we're going to live with because we need to wrap things up now, Sydney, before we go. Top scorers in the top 4 teams. Ooh. Yeah. Who are they? Let's look at their price tag and see if they really justify the money.
Well. If you're talking about the highest goal scorers in the team, for us now, right now, is Gabriel Martinelli. Okay. Martinelli has scored 14 goals, 6 assists, just in 30 played. and no penalty kick.
Okay.
Then if you're going to Erling Haaland, you know that one is a godfather, godfather of goals. His leg he's always glued with the goal, with the football. So he has got 2 goals, 6 assists, 5 assists, 6 penalty kick, and 27 played.
Okay.
And Manchester United is Rashford, who has scored about 15 goals, 8 assists, and played 29 match. Then in Newcastle now is Miguel Almiron, who has scored 11, no penalty kick, and 1 assist, and has played 25 matches for Newcastle. But out of the 25, he start in 24 match. The 25th one was a sub. So that's just the thing that is trending about the most top goal scorers of the battle for the title.
Okay. And if you ask me, of course, aside from Rashford, who is an homegrown and whose salary is always on the increase most times, would you say Miguel, Haaland, and Martinelli, would you say the money the money spent exactly for them used in acquiring them from the clubs, would you say it's justified with the goal score so far?
Let me come from the angle of Saka.
Okay.
The beauty of Saka is an homegrown, but right now as we speak, his market value is about 100 million plus. Wow. That is beautiful. That's you know that these people knows what they're doing in time of business. Are you seeing it? When anybody say, okay, I need Saka now, I need Saka, that's big, huge money for us now. Okay. I seen it, but if you're talking of Rashford, it's an homegrown. The market value of Rashford safe now is about 100 million plus. Okay, I getting it. That's how to do business, because football is all about business. It's all about the money. I getting it. But trophy is very important too. Exactly. You know that aspect is very, very, very important. Yeah. So and if you're not coming to Miguel, MLS, you can use Premier League to compare MLS. Premier is an advanced league, is a very established league filled with superstars. Are you getting it? Okay. But MLS, Major League Soccer, if Miguel can come from that league, become an outstanding and a masterpiece footballer in Premier League, and now his market value has gone beyond 21 million. Currently, I think his market value has jumped up to 35 million. See the increase, 21 to 35, which is huge, and he's still young. He's in his early 20s. Wow. So there's still time. So on the side of Miguel, the money is justified. Wow. On the side of Saka, if me and you know it's justified as well as Rashford. Then if you're talking of Alan, oh my God, there's nothing to say. Just keep going. Keep paying more money. He's good to go. All right.
We got to go. We got to go. Time is really not our friend, where we're talking money and sports here. But Sydney, I must say, thank you for joining me on today's
Thank you so much. Thank you so much
for having me. Next week is another time. I will be back to look at another league and how money is making the world go round there. Yeah. It's a pleasure. Okay, guys. Of course, you can follow us on all our social media handles, and don't forget also to like our our Facebook page, for example, and also follow us on Twitter. And also don't forget that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel too, so that you can enjoy the best of content. Till I come your way next time, I'm yours truly today, man of the future in sports, Jide Olana.
Many thanks for joining us on the newsroom. I'm Simi Solatiku, and these are trending headlines making the rounds. The federal government has confirmed that some Nigerian students fleeing the conflict in Sudan were denied entry into Ethiopia, but said that the situation was being handled. It said authorities in Ethiopia were addressing the issue as they had sought clearance for the fleeing students, stressing that it was, however, risky for them to have embarked on such a journey. Meanwhile, the Director of Special Duties at the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Onimode Bandele, also said that the federal government had considered using the services of the United Nations in evacuating Nigerians stranded in Sudan. Crisis in the Taraba State chapter of the All Progressives Congress APC has taken a dramatic turn on Tuesday following the expulsion of David Sambo-Kente, one of the governorship aspirants of the party in the 2023 general elections, over alleged anti-party activities. The party has also suspended the senator-elect for Taraba South Senatorial District, David Jimkuta, for anti-party activities and recommended his expulsion from the party to the National Secretariat. President Muhammadu Buhari will depart Abuja for Accra on Tuesday, April 25, to attend the third extraordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the Gulf of Guinea Commission. According to a statement by the spokesman Femi Adesina on Monday, the president, who will be accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs Geoffrey Oyema and other officials, is scheduled to deliver remarks at a high-level discussion on strategies for strengthening peace and security in the fight against maritime-related crimes in the region. Vaccination rates in the United Kingdom have fallen among school children in England since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, health officials have said, amid a global crisis of confidence in vaccines. Fears have been expressed in recent months that thousands of children are at risk of catching deadly diseases such as meningitis and blood poisoning, with significant outbreaks likely due to reduced vaccination rates. In business, Nigeria has emerged as the top country for venture capital investments in 2022. A new report by the Africa Private Equity and Venture Capital Association has revealed. In its annual report titled 2022 AVCA Venture Capital in Africa Report, the continental body said that Nigeria outperformed other countries that made the list to account for 22%. A U.S.-brokered 72-hour ceasefire between Sudan's warring generals officially has come into effect on Tuesday. In a statement by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces agreed to the ceasefire following intense negotiations shortly before the truce took effect at midnight. The ceasefire aims to establish humanitarian corridors, allowing citizens and residents to access essential resources, healthcare and safe zones, while also evacuating diplomatic missions. And in sports, Manchester United will offer Harry Kane a £300,000 a week contract to join the club this summer, as they have begun to pursue a deal for the captain of Spurs. With a successful completion, Kane will become one of the highest paid earners at Manchester United. The England national team captain has scored 26 goals in all competitions with Spurs, with 24 of those in the Premier League. That's all on the newsroom at the moment. Many thanks for watching. I'm Simi Solatiku. Bye for now.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus from the surface to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the bend of your elbow or use a disposable tissue. If a tissue is used, discard it immediately into a closed bin. The most effective way to prevent the spread of the new coronavirus is to clean your hands frequently with an alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. This will eliminate the virus if it is on your hands. Stay healthy and prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Nominated as the chairman of Grantmanship by the college management in 2018. And what is grantmanship? Grantmanship is sourcing for grants for the development of the college. So our first outing, we want to create awareness among the staffs on what is grantmanship, and therefore invited 2 speakers, Professor Idachapa from my Confident University and Dr. Dabasaki from Ford Foundation. Along the line, he told us that they don't give grants and that they have specific area, and that is area of art. For years, you know, those in the art, in the School of Art, they have been dreaming of having something like this, but it is a matter of money. There's no money backing, nothing. So, but when he was now asking us, he talked to us about the policy, said, okay, we'll look into that. He said, okay, so if you are coming because they are interested in art, why don't we join it with an exhibition on sexual harassment? He said, oh, that's all right. He now told us that that one will not fetch us much. That, okay, the college, since inception of the college, 1947, we have Department of Art. Later, it metamorphoses into the School of Art. Do we have a collection center for all the arts? We said no. He said, well, what if you have a mini museum? I said, okay, that's a great idea. And now asked us to go and write proposal. So we left that place. So we rub mind, we write, we sent to him, did some correction, he sent it back to us. But along the line, we found out that we cannot do it alone because we are science-based. So we need somebody that is fast in art. And that was how Dr. Rimolade came in. And the 3 of us, we wrote the proposal, he helped us fine-tune it, and that was how we get the grant of $100,000 for this project. But like I said, it is not this project alone. So 3 projects. This is the major one. Then we have the exhibition and we have the policy. So on the 25th of November this year, that is when we launched the 3.
Initially, we were just looking at a program where we address sexual harassment in the college. But by extension, we were able to get a museum out of the whole project. And the museum was launched on the 25th of November 2020.
What I could start with is that we were dealing with an abandoned space, and we had to deal with a lot of forces of the elements, which obviously we've won this part. The fight continues, and our museum is in the basement space. The basement space takes more than half of the lower part of the building, so it's a large, very large space. The purpose of the space in itself, aside from the display space that you already have been through, the museum actually has 3 components, where we have the display space for the works that we've put up, and then we also have a research and repository section. This section is supposed to deal with future research. A lot of writing, of course, is going to start happening, and keeping a log of information. We've been here, the school has been here for such a long time, and it has so many relationships with so many artists in the city, and we want to begin to document them. So it becomes a space where anyone that is looking for information, primary information, not just things that you find online, things that these artists probably would keep or lose, like how you would go through Dali's foundation now and find notebooks and things. Those are the kind of things that the museum is going to gather for research purposes. We're starting to work towards having our conservatory and preservation section. It's a restoration section, which works perfectly for us because our faculty has already for several years been running programs on methods and materials, and under methods and materials there's a section for preservation and conservation of art. So it's not a full-fledged course here. It's not even a full-fledged course anywhere close to us. So hopefully it would be filling a huge gap, not just for our community, but for artists and art collectors around us. We hope it becomes a service point moving forward.
I'm very happy about this because, like you have rightly said, that I've been here for a decade. Yeah. You see, we have Yusuf Gilo Gallery, and coming now to have Yaba Art Museum is very, very good. And we have to thank God for the people that sponsor the Ford Foundation for that, for this achievement. We thank God. And you see, this Yaba Art Museum is the one and the first in the all higher institution in Nigeria, the first and in the higher institution in Nigeria. As we all know, Yaba Art School is still the best. So we are coming again as the best to produce the largest art museum in any higher institution in this country.
For years, those in the art, in the School of Art, they have been dreaming of having something like this. But it is a matter of money. There's no money backing, nothing. So, but when he was now asking us, he talked to us about the policy, said, okay, we will look into that. He said, okay, so if you are coming because they are interested in art, why don't we join it with an exhibition on sexual harassment? We said, that's all right. But he now told us that that one will not fetch us much. That, okay, the college, since inception of the college, 1947, we have Department of Art. Later, it metamorphoses into School of Art. Do we have a collection center for all the arts? We said no. Said, well, what if you have a mini museum? Said, okay, that's a great idea. Now asked us to go and write proposal. So we left that place. So we rub mind, we write, we sent to him. He did some correction, he sent it back to us. But along the line, we found out that we cannot do it alone because we are science-based. So we need somebody that is fast in art. And that was how Dr. Rimolade came in. And the three of us, we wrote the proposal. He helped us fine-tune it. And that was how we get the grant of $100,000 for this project. But like I said, it is not this project alone. So 3 projects. This is the major one. Then we have the exhibition and we have the policy. So on the 25th of November, this year, that is when we launched.
In this part of the world, when it comes to art school, I think Yaba Art School has been on for over 70 years, and that's quite a record. And with that, which means that her seeds are all over the place globally, right? So when it comes to adding to the content of what we have in here, in fact, we're just starting, right? because we have a lot of people, alumni outside there that are willing, to actually have donate to this particular, museum, right? And so, like I told you earlier on, constantly, we'll be having this, enriching the collection. So, because like I told you, what we have, some of, students' works, lecturers, as well as supporters out there, right? If there's anything we are aiming at, it's, because we know what is happening outside there, and this is what we are ready to give locally. Now, come to the artifacts that are out there. Why do we travel out there to see those works? It's because of the way they've been packaged, and that is where, because you have a lot of, information about those things, those works, where they are, and when you see some of the promotions about them, you want to see them, right? So if there's anything, there's a question you ask whether we are ready for it. I want to say here in Yaba College of Technology, we are even ready, right? In the sense that the kind of space we have, the kind of packaging we are ready to give works in our collection, certainly it will compete favorably with what you have outside there. Because the fear, as far as I'm concerned, regarding our artifacts out there is it's because people troop out there to look at them because of the way they've been presented, the way they've been packaged, right? And if such works are, eventually repatriated, how are we sure that we want to? Because what they've done, that has added value to them. Once they bring it out there, if we are not careful, right, knowing the Nigerian thing, we might decide that we might discover that those works will lose their value, right? So it's now up, the onus is on us to see what we can do to actually up the game regarding packaging, adding value to that. And I want to tell you, people want to, wherever they are, they want to come down here to see those works, because whether you like it or not, the venue most times makes the event, right? So it's about where do you have the work. You don't just repatriate them and just put them somewhere where nobody cares for them, right? So these are the things we are ready to do in Yaba Art Museum. And as you can see, we're just starting. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Essentially, the role of museum is so very important to every household, to community, to the city, the country, and the world at large. The museum is a point where you keep the treasures, the family treasures, the community treasures, the institutional treasure, and then the state treasure, national treasure, and also at the international level, these treasures are exchanged through collaboration so that other people on the side of the globe can see what is happening at the other side. But most importantly, the museum provide a historical documentation of the evolution of a people, how they reasoned some time ago, how they were able to advance technologically and the rest of it. It can be read from the artifacts and the works that are available.
Museum is not a profit-making institution, so to say. Museum documents history, documents culture, And because this one is situated within the academic environment, it's a place where students can learn from the past works of other students that have left the place over a period of time. Because if you look at the works here, they are from different departments and they carry different philosophies and ideas which the students could actually tap into. The museum gives what I call academic visibility to the school. It opens avenue for people to come in, to look at what we have done and also to collaborate with us and see how we have been able over the years to document the history of our environment.
The museum in itself, aside from serving the aesthetic purposes that people come to see, the hope is that it would serve not just for art lovers, because that's just one perspective of looking at art. Artists can be very, very interdisciplinary, and we're actually a technological institution, so we have different faculties and learners that can relate to the works, either through history, through its methodology, through the happenings at the times of the works that were created. There are different connection points that can come through education, of the art piece. It's not just the pretty picture.
The role of the museum is also to educate, apart from charting a history for people, is to educate you, and it's also going to give records of those objects that made history, and then by extension those who did them. And you find that now that you have this museum here, it's already attracting economic business environment, which is the characteristics of every museum anywhere in the whole world. There is going to be coffee shop somewhere, and there will be where people can have their snacks, where people can sit down, and there will be postcards made from some of the artifacts here, some souvenirs that people can pick, and most importantly, you'll find that when the culture of the museum is built, everybody around becomes aware, and then the import of keeping what we have is also being taught indirectly, so that everybody will know that things that you have, even your old man, your grandfather's agbada, for instance, dresses, their shoes, and that you say, oh, this is old school, you trash it. You don't throw anything away. These are things that can speak for that community. And that is what the museum, the role, the positioning here is going to play.
It's not just a place where works are gathered. Mind you, we are not just gathering works here for gathering's sake. Because what is very important is for the fact that for every work we have in this collection, certainly the data of each of those works, that is the artist, the year it is made, the materials, and what the content and materials of each of the works are well documented. So it's not just about having the works alone and for people to come around and see alone. No. This is going to be like more or less a research center you know, as you have, you know, in other climes, such as Smithsonian and other institutions like that, whereby if you're interested in, you know, researching about a particular artist, you know, you can always come here and, you know, you can have all that you can gather regarding the work, the artist, everything about the artist we are actually gathering here, we have here. So it's not just going to be a place where you just have the works alone. No, 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 no. Everything concerning the artist, its art, then, which means that for historians, you know, for, you know, researchers, you know, it's a place to be, right? So because it's going to compete favorably with other institutions, you know, museum around the world. That is our dream. And with the fact that we're also being supported by Ford Foundation, I think that is also a plus, because once we have such a foundation backing us, I think you want to know that, I want to believe that it's not just going to be a local thing, it's going to be a global, you know, one, whereby everything, you know, that has to do with art, especially staff and students, Yaba College Technology, you know, can be assessed.
This museum has a lot of importance to the environment, and all the students and everybody, we are all gearing up to embrace this. And at the national level, you find that one role museum plays is that immediately people arrive somewhere, they say, please, I would like to see this, I would like to see that. So it becomes a cultural destination. And I think that's another cultural tourism. There's a lot of potential that institution of a museum like this will generate once it kicks off fully.
About art is that it finds its way to insinuate itself into every single aspect of what you do, consciously or unconsciously. So it's very strange to say you want to cut out art out of anything. Even when you want to write about cutting it out, you need the artist to help you do that. But then when you talk about sponsorship or support, I think the first thing I should say, this is a federal institution, and we've been so fortunate with the rector that we currently have in the institution. There's nothing you want to do, particularly in these times. If you don't have political will, nothing is going to happen. But then the rector has championed the cause with so much energy and supported it at every turn. So I think that is a positive thing, because he works for the government.
Most of the work say that some of them, they are unknown. You see, you know how many years back, I've been lecturing over 20 years ago. And where we are sitting down, here we have Lara Ige. She is based in London, and we have a lot of lecturers here that are based in America that they sent in their works. Though for those that we cannot, you know, we cannot pick up their names, we will send photographs and say who their classmates. We will look for their classmates that can identify the owner of the works. So that's why we are still working. You see, it's still new. We are still working, asking who is the owner of this. You see, like my classmate here, I finished from this place, and my classmates here, I have their works. I could be able to say this is so person's work. You see, and you know, a lot has happened concerning these works that we are presenting here, because they are asking us. Some are still bringing their works, but as time goes on, I think we'll improve on all those things.
When you look at the Benin bronze, the Ife terracotta, the Igboku, and the Nok culture, you are able to now say, okay, at this point in time, you mean there were Nigerians that reasoned and did this work. And so you can use that to project a roadmap and development of a country. Unfortunately, we haven't seen this in Nigeria. The museum that was built during the colonial era is just there. At some point in time, people are even referring to it as a mortuary, because in a typical African society, the museum, the family museum, for instance, on yearly basis is refreshed, and that is where you have the festivals. And when you have the festival, you find that the artifacts or the collection or the achievement for that particular year is deposited at the museum, and that is building history. And so when you look at all these artifacts, you are able to record the number of years. You are able to talk about dynasties. You are able to talk about at what times what happened. And that helps people to be able to come out with a growth pattern that will inform you to plan even for the future.
Talking about support, we're very grateful to Ford Foundation for the support so far, and we're looking to support from other areas. We already have a lot of support, hopefully coming from the Lagos State Council for Arts and Tourism. The commissioner was here and she was so impressed and has offered help. And this is a government establishment, so I don't think I would say we've had negative issues so far, although we've had challenges. I must emphasize that we are a work in progress. This is the start of a start, because we've had just a little over 2 years working on this, and anyone that knows about research knows that it's not enough time to gather anything. But we've done what we can so far, and currently our collection is about a little over 2,000 pieces. So what you see in the display is less than half or less than a quarter of what the collection actually holds. But the display actually holds works from our past, older works from our beginning, which I mean the school in itself. When I say the school, I mean Yaba College of Technology, has its own history starting all the way from 1933. Contrary to popular opinion of 1948. But then the School of Art in itself, its beginning started in 1952, and which means in 2 years' time, it's 70, making us the very oldest one around.
We are Nigerians, And problems, challenges that are peculiar to us, we know them, right? So, and also, once you know your challenges, your problems, certainly it's half solved, because it's to know how to go about it. And with that, I think as an art school, we know what we need, we know what we can do to preserve this. And certainly the need for us to also, take the right step in assessing this, in doing this. All these have been, have been planned out, and we're working on it. So we know that we have a job to do here, and first is the care for the artworks, because they must be maintained at a particular temperature, right? First, the museum, this particular space, we know what we went through to be able to, secure it. Regarding some of the elements that we battle with, to be able to, have it the way it is today. And we are not resting on our hours. We know that there's still a lot of things to put in place to be able to, keep it going. Because, like you rightly observe, yes, in Nigeria, we know that we, down to except air that is free to us, every other thing, you just have to fight for it. So as an institution, as a museum, certainly all these are being worked out so that, we don't just have, it will not seems as if we are just a flash in the pan. No, continuity, maintenance is very, very key, and we are seriously working at that, and I want to believe that very soon we're still going to invite you. We discover that because every now and then we want to keep on, improving on what we have. We don't have all yet, right? Because yes, we have this space. No, it's just about this space. There are lots that we still need to do regarding the work, because it's not just about this space, but about the content, right? So which is very important. And you're talking about the content, you're talking about the preservation. These are the things. If we've been doing it for other, around the world, why can't we do it for ourselves here? So we are aware of these challenges, and headlong we are battling it.
How many museums we do have in Lagos? We have just the National Museum. And coming to have Yaba Art Museum, it's something else. You see, we have a lot of, this art museum now is like a tourism. Because some people will be coming in now, they'll be asking, where can I get museum? Where is the museum? But now, the National Theatre, they don't have anything again there. But having this one now at the Art Museum within, you see, it's in this center of Lagos. So it's something that is very, very nice. And because a lot of people, when we opened this place last month, in fact, people have been praising the college for this upbringing, and it's very, very good, because most of the people will be benefiting. You see, most of the works we are seeing here are products of our ex-students, and most of the products you are seeing here, we are the supervisors. Like you see the work I'm sitting behind, is my work. This work you are seeing behind me is dedicated to the African children, and again dedicated to the children that died during the bomb blast, Ikeja bomb blast. That's why I said I prefer to sit down where this work is, because it's for a purpose.
We're hoping to have so many events that are worked into the programs of the museum. Educational events, social events, screenings, excursions. We're hoping to be able to host researchers and different host curators. So it's supposed to become very active in the years coming, at least while I'm working on it. It's hoped that it will become very active during that period.
The Osun-Osogbo Sacred Grove in Osogbo, Osun State, southwest Nigeria, is one of the last remnants of primary high forest in southern Nigeria. The site, a natural habitat that has been preserved for over 400 years, has served as both a pilgrim point as well as a tourist center for millions of people who visit the site annually to worship and celebrate the Osun goddess that is believed to inhabit the river that runs through the grove, giving the water the ability to heal and grant wishes of its believers.
Osun Grove happened to be a site that we all refer to as a living site. It is a living site just because activities that have been carried out over the years are still performed the way it used to be then. And secondly, it is a site where the worshippers do come to perform every 5th of the day, which means 5 days. They do come. For example, in churches, we go to churches during the week, but on Sunday, we christen it to be, we go to church on Sunday. Likewise, the Muslim goes to mosque on Friday. So that's why the fact that the devotees do come interval, but they have a 5 day, which they call Ojose. Aside this, the uniqueness of this site is the name Osogbo was derived from this site. The appellation of the king was derived from this site.
From the entrance, one could feel the tranquility that comes with the well-preserved forest. A little further down comes another feeling of an elevated being's dwellings. This is the Osun-Osogbo Sacred Grove, one of the last sacred forests in Nigeria, along the banks of the Osun River, just outside the city of Osogbo, Osun State, southwest Nigeria. In this forest of 75 hectares of undisturbed areas of land, no residential building is allowed, no killing of any kind of animal, no fishing, no hunting or felling of trees.
Apart the fact that it is 75 hectares of the core zone and 47 hectares of the buffer zone, is one of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa and the second UNESCO World Heritage Site in Nigeria. The kind of people or crowd that comes around, one would be marveled why this. But it is a festival and a river that people believes in. Because of the sacredness, you can't cut a tree, you can't fish. And if you are not a devotee, there are certain activities you don't do so that you don't blame yourself.
The one path that cuts right through the grove is lined on either sides with sanctuaries, illustrations of traditional Yoruba deities and primary high forest. Adekunle Olatunji is the curator and site manager of the grove that has existed for over 4 centuries. On a tour of the sacred forest, Olatunji describes how the name Osogbo came about and what the grove stands for.
At Ipoleumu, some kilometers from here is in Iboku. There's an hunter. It's not just an hunter that going to the bush to kill rats. It's a big hunter that hunts for elephants, bigger animals. In one of his sojourn, then from Ipoleumu looking for where they can get water, they now got to this site. On getting to this site, he was astounded. We were looking for almost a 40 kilometers from here, looking for water, still large water here. So he decided to go back to inform the king. My brother, we are hunting, I got to his place and I saw this river. So the hunter then was Oguntimeyin, while the king then at Ipoleumu is Laroye. So the two of them came down to the site, seeing what they wanted. So they decided to settle down at the bank of the river. So in one of their trying to rent the tent, a tree now fell into the river. And a voice came out of the river saying, Eyoma darling, you have broken my time, but 84 kokwa. So everybody the two of them were so shocked. Who is this person? Simultaneously, the spirit now answered, Oshoigbo Pele. Oshoigbo. That was when they knew they are in Oshogbo. Literally meaning Oshoigbo. So now, they now felt, what is the next thing to do? In Yoruba then, something strange happened. You do divination. During their divination, they wanted to know what's happening. So the Babalawo now said, Osun dwell here. You cannot stay with Osun. So they moved from the bank of the river, moved up. They now built a hut. That hut today is what we call the First Palace. And there's these promises between them that we said we should leave this place. As a powerful person, they felt, how will somebody in the river be telling us to leave? So if we are to leave, what will you do for us? And I said, okay, if you are to leave, I will make you prosper. There is no war that will conquer you. Do my bidding, and every year there must be somebody from your lineage to come and bring object of appeasement to me every year.
But the grove wasn't always this beautiful and serene. In fact, there was a time it was completely infested with termites until an Austrian artist, Susan Wenger, and her husband Uli Bayer arrived to save the sacred monument. Wenger devoted some 50 years of her life to preserving the forest, and with the help of local craftsmen in the city, she transformed the sacred grove into a sculptural garden with compelling artworks and objects of habitation. Because of them, this 200 acres is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
When Mama started with the Osun Groves, she started at the area we called Ayedakun. Ayedakun is also part of the groves. Our first two sculptures are still there, where we have Obatala and Yemo. And she did that, you know, not in one place, you know, at the main shrine, Ebu Yamako, and inside the forest there are the sculptures there that she made. And Mama would do the art with meditating, you know, like communication with the deity before doing any form of art. And Mama got her inspiration, you know, from there because she stayed there for a while.
She was invited to come and see or assist us in treating this termite attack. In doing that, she now fell in love with the culture. So she is so powerful and mystic that if she sleeps, revelations of what she is expected to do for this place will come to her. Then she now felt, for somebody of her status, there's a need for her to have people to work with. Then she now got in touch with the Oba. Then there and then some interested indigenes that were into art then were introduced to her. So that was why they formed what we call a new sacred art movement. With this new sacred art movement, from instruction from her, that's why we have all these structures.
Shaded by a canopy of trees with a flight of stone leading downwards, the inner grove lies within a natural depression, marking the exact spot where the first palace of the founder of Osogbo was located. The ancient palace with its ornate pillars and elegant designs has remained in its original state for decades, and its sacredness upheld for as long as it stands. A short walk away from the palace will take you to the Osun River, which on a normal day looks just like any other river except for the utter stillness that pervades the atmosphere around it and the occasional calving in the midst of its waters. Otherwise called the Herbs of Osun, because according to its devotees, this calm flowing river transcends ordinary water.
Everything about the Osun Grove revolves around this river. It's like the life of this place. You take it away, the entire place becomes lifeless. This is where the history of the grove actually started from. And every year, thousands of devotees of the Oshun goddess converge by the bank of this river, where they pray, believing that all of their problems will be solved by the goddess.
If it is just a mere river, why the crowd? If it is just a mere river, why are people taking this water? I'm using this water in context because here we don't have river, we don't have water. Please, we don't have water. Once you are here, you want agbo, herbs. People that needed one thing or the other comes here to seek for assistance from Oshun goddess. Believing, as I said, it's your faith. Believing he or she will do it for them. Whatever is being taken here is herbs, is agbo. If you take it with your faith, be you me, you will be healed. It has been proven beyond reasonable doubt.
While the grove is the site of Oshun's most sacred shrine, many Yoruba deities are also depicted here with sculptures that are centuries old and shrines where their devotees worship. Despite the sanctity attached to it, managing the grove is not without its own challenges.
There's no lumber that will come into this site that will not pray will sleep off 72 hours. So that before we wake up, we would have cut down all the trees. We do have butchers, and despite the native laws that we do use to operate, because here you are not supposed to hunt. If you are caught, you'll be taken to the enforcement agency through the Atauja of Osogbo. And because of developmental pressure, as the town grows, you are bound to see people wanting to build closer to the site, thereby giving you problem. You have a challenge, but God is helping us through that native law. That native law, don't cut, don't fish. And aside that, the native law, I will tell you authoritatively, because if all of us goes home, we have night security if they are here. If you eventually decide that you want to catch any fish, you will cook it from now till that kingdom come, it will not done. So you will definitely put yourself into trouble.
Once sparkling and clear and home to a variety of fish, today the sacred river is marked.
Many thanks for staying with us on the newsroom. Here are the stories we're following at this time. The federal government, through the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, have published emergency numbers for stranded Nigerians. In a joint statement by the two ministers, Geoffrey Onyema and Sadiya Umar Farouk, concerted efforts are being made to evacuate Nigerians in Sudan. The ministers empathize with the citizens of the country, members of the Nigerian community, including the Nigerian students caught up in the ongoing crisis between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary rapid support forces. A veteran journalist and one of Nigeria's most celebrated columnists, Peter Enahoro, is dead. Enahoro, popularly known by his pen name Peter Pan, died in London, the United Kingdom, on Monday, aged 88. The veteran journalist was born on January 21 in 1935. He started his media career as an assistant publicity officer in the now Federal Ministry of Information in the year 1954. The World Health Organization says the R21 Matrix M malaria vaccine, given provisional approval by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control (NAFDAC), still needs to undergo more trials. Walter Mulumbo, WHO country representative to Nigeria, made this known during a media parley at the UN House in Abuja on Tuesday. He also restated the importance and efficacy of the RTSS vaccine adopted by countries like Ghana and Kenya. Thousands of people say they've developed tetanus after they were vaccinated against COVID-19. While there is no proof yet that the vaccines cause the condition, theories for a possible link have surfaced among researchers. Experts believe that ongoing inflammation, especially in the brain or spinal cord, may to be blamed. Agora Policy, an Abuja-based think tank, says the incoming administration needs to undertake fast, coordinated macroeconomic policy reforms on fiscal, monetary and trade fronts. In its policy, the think tank said the Nigerian economy has significant potential but faces a myriad of economic challenges which needs to be handled quickly. Recommending solutions to Nigeria's fiscal problems, Agora Policy says the government needs to take decisive action on boosting oil revenue by ending oil theft and removing petrol subsidy. United States President Joe Biden has officially launched his campaign for re-election in 2024, becoming the Democratic frontrunner in a race that could pit him for a second time against Republican contender Donald Trump, according to his campaign video. Biden's announcement in the video on Tuesday came on the 4th anniversary of the start of his first successful presidential bid. But the Democratic president faces some of the lowest approval ratings of his tenure so far, and his age, Biden is currently the oldest person to ever hold the highest U.S. office, has spurred questions about his re-election prospects. The Nigerian University Games Association NUGA has confirmed Edo as a host for the trials of the 2023 World University Games. According to a statement by the association on Monday, the trials will be held at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City, from May 8th to 14th. The trials would feature athletes who performed exceptionally well at the 26th NUGA Games, as well as new athletes who will compete for their sport and Team Nigeria at the Global Showcase. And that's it from the newsroom. To join us at the top of the hour for more stories. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon route, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Thanks for joining us on News Now at this time.
Protest in Lagos.
Thank you for joining us today on the newsroom. The Lagos State Emergency Management Authority has said for Western Media School, one vote woman, and
the rampant illegal spectrum frequencies.
The bulls took over the wheels on the Nigerian stock market today as sellers eased.
In terms of settling down, does age affect the chances of choosing the partner you want? In terms of settling down, does age affect the chances of choosing the partner you want?
It should be the choice. I think it should be the choice.
In which way? Me as female, I date a younger person.
I feel
like
as a female, like, as in is age a factor in you
deciding
getting what you want?
Yeah, who you want to
get married
Meaning, can I get married to a younger man?
No. Like, for example, as you grow older, for example, now, your chances of getting who you really want becomes slim.
Okay.
I don't think it plays like that for a man.
For a man, yeah, it doesn't.
It's for a man.
But it's for a lady.
For ladies, I just feel like you don't. For ladies, you can say that yes, we have the, how do they say it? It's not in our favor. You get. It's more in guys' favor. You see guys in late 40s, just getting married, mid 50s. Yeah. But for women, you understand? They're like, oh, you think about your biological clock. You think, oh, maybe can she, still be able to have kids and everything. So you understand. So most times when they get to a particular age, they start getting pressed like, oh, like let me just look for one and just settle down or something. You get.
I even think like sort of
just settle for anybody they say.
No,
like they settle.
No, I'm just saying
they
that
don't.
for them.
It's just
I'm
that.
not saying that
It's just that.
Like,
older women settle now. They settle at the end of the day.
They don't. I don't think they're going to settle now. There is easy.
I was about to say like
you can freeze
modernization,
your
like
you freeze your eggs.
Yeah,
yes,
it's quite easier now.
It's quite easier now.
And again, people like have a liberal mind now.
Liberal mind, and in fact now, more people are more maybe because people are now more open, and then they, civilization and everything. Yeah. People are now seeing that you don't need to rush to anywhere. Do you understand? Actually. Okay, so and then because of what is even happening right now, like people considering marriages where people, you rush in and then you rush out. People are like, no, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to wait to get married to the right person. You understand? I'm not negating the fact that some people are still rushing.
Yes, you are still taking your time.
Yeah, that's why.
As a woman.
That's why I say.
I'm not saying that maybe she's trying to be picky, but like maybe I'm not saying maybe at that stage. Yes. That maybe she say, oh, I don't like this song. Oh, maybe for petty reason. I'm saying maybe at that stage, maybe she has not gotten anybody. She's not going to go and meet any random person and just go and.
But anybody that approaches her, she would agree.
Wrong.
No, that's what I'm saying. She's not just going to just because any random person comes to.
Yes.
So you think
she could. That's what I'm saying. Medicine has made things easier and science.
You can
so
freeze
she
your
could freeze her egg and she's not worried about her age to give birth.
Is that the only thing women worry about?
It's part of the thing. That's one of the major things in
Nigeria.
That's
one of the major
or
things
in
that
Africa.
people worry about is their biological.
It's the truth.
Unless you don't want kids.
It's the main thing. Because in-laws, your in-laws will say, why won't marry this babe? She don't she don't feel give you picky, she don't give us grandchildren. So that's just
the only reason why you don't feel married.
I mean major thing. A major thing for Nigeria.
But what of you?
Me, for an older woman. If I like the older woman, I'll get married to her. There are ways we could look for a child.
So if she's like 50, can you get married to her?
No, 50 is too much. There's a considerate age. I can't.
Considerate age?
Yes, what is the truth now?
The considerate age?
Huh?
45.
No. I'm going to be 34. Let's say a lady 40. Yes, I could.
6 years.
Yes, I could, but above that, that's.
What of 41?
No,
42?
I say I'm telling you the age.
41, she just left now.
It's the same thing. Man,
even that 40 self.
You get
almost 6 years difference.
So that's
Shay, what about you?
Almost is a no. Forget that thing.
Which age? Like what of a year older?
Maybe my max now 3 years. Max older. 3 years older. Max.
Well, see, everybody has his own this thing. So
max.
But you should at least consider 41. You should still.
How you go consider
the 41 I don't consider.
The 47 we go still talk am well. You know if you consider 40.
No, but 40 is cool for you.
It's cool. 6 years.
I just feel like the most important for men, the worry for them, for women, is the fact that one thing they're scared about is their biological clock.
Yeah.
Menopause and all those kind of things. Do you understand? We all know that is aside. If you're not worried about it, that means maybe you don't want to have kids.
Exactly.
Or
maybe you just want to adopt, or
you want to adopt, or you want to do surrogacy. If you've frozen your eggs, you understand. So that's just the thing.
But you know another funny thing in Africa that we made it look like as if it's a woman thing. It also affects men. Getting married at a very...
It doesn't affect men as
I want to explain to you what I mean by it affects...
Wait.
I'm not saying men
drop their standards.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying this. Imagine you getting married as a guy. You're wasting time. You're getting married at 40, 45. So let's say by the time your child will be... Wait,
doesn't mean that it was wasting time.
I'm not saying you're wasting time. I'm saying you're taking time. Wait. That is it's still the same thing. We're only just talking about ladies at this thing. Okay, you're taking time, and then you finally get married or get settled at 40 or 45. So by the time your first child will be like 10 years, you're 55 years. So when would you stay to enjoy your kid?
As in,
you still enjoy him now.
Like
how? As in you're already old. Is it at your old age you want to enjoy your kid? Or at a younger age.
Like
so people get married as
early
as 25 and they don't give birth until 45, 50.
What would they do?
That one is a different case. That one is a different case.
I'm just saying that.
And even at that part is because maybe they've not explored other options to get kids, or maybe they don't have the means to get kids.
Yes, so you want to tell me that?
And people have tried IVF how many times?
Even if you don't work, then you adopt.
We all know how adoption is in Nigeria. Adoption is very, very, the process is long.
Tedious.
And which is one of the things that people are really speaking out about. That
the process long, you see,
which is one of the things that they're talking
about. Anybody carry on,
difficult. People are saying it's very, and that's why people are saying that's why people go for that baby factory thing. That because of the
doing it the legal way is stressful. Yes,
doing the legal way is very stressful. It will take you a year before
Nigeria.
Yes. Wow. Why do you think baby factory
papers upon papers? That's why baby factory is easier. You just go and get the thing easily with your money.
Under 1 year, you're done.
Now this are even with your money. Yeah.
For years, 5 years, they've not given you child.
One.
As you used to be on, and it doesn't mean that you even get it though. Do you understand? And that is why baby factory is moving.
It's moving.
And people are really speaking up now. I don't know. People are really speaking on that. Nigeria, the government should do something about adoption. They should make sure the process is easy. Do you understand?
They just have so many children there,
so that you can get rid of all this baby factory springing up everywhere and there. Do you understand?
Well, I don't think a man's standard drops. So even no matter how old he gets at the end of the day, because you see, a man is, especially if he's not rich, but let me say well-to-do. If the guy is well-to-do, his standard will not drop.
I think he settled.
I still want a slim babe. I still want a fair
I think he settled.
I
think he settled.
He settled.
Do you know why? Men settle. Even when they're not even old.
Men don't
settle. Even when they're not even settle.
Yes.
Even when they are not old.
Yes, they
let me tell you how it works. Like when they're serious and they're active, when they're serious,
especially when their parents are on their neck.
Yes, they settle.
Before you know, they say, I didn't like her. She got pregnant for me.
Corey, like when they're still very young.
Those days that
when they're still very young, when they're still very young and playful and they're still in the field and all. They do with this girl. That's when they even have spec. when it's time to settle and they be doing that thing, they settle.
Yeah. When it's time to settle down.
Settle down.
Yes.
They settle.
They
Who?
settle.
They settle for anything.
Oh, they don't settle. They pick who pays them the
No,
most. No, it's not settle.
That's when they settle.
I don't think that I buy with what they are saying.
No, I don't buy what they are.
You know why? Because no, say let me explain to you
How
something.
can you say guys?
I've had guys. Let me explain something to you.
Settle.
I've had guys that
You won't be like this one ended up with this one.
when they were dating, they were like, oh, if I want to marry, see this kind of babe now, this kind of babe, this. And then finally, you know, while they were dating, they had those kind of girls, those classic girls. And then when they're finally ready to settle, you just see the girl and they're like, I don't see why.
Like,
guy, how far now? But not be this kind person.
Yes.
Like what's happen?
What the guy go reply you?
He'll tell you say na person way I just won't deal with. Now like that person will make me happy.
Bam!
You don't drop the standard.
No, drop the standard.
You drop am. Because before you talk say my standard.
Yeah, wait till you talk.
He
say na person
like this.
Yeah, wait till you talk now. He say na person where I like.
He
don't drop the standard.
He drop in standard because
it just be like say wait. It just be like say everybody knows say I like beans. I like beans. Person can't give me ewa going. I can't chop ewa going. You can't say but you talk say na normal beans like why can't they eat ewa going? I see say I like this one. Pass this one. It don't mean say I settle. It means I prefer this one to even this one. No, you don't settle. It was his choice.
Because before he talk say what I want. Okay, let me use physical attributes. I want babe who gets big butt, babe who gets it. Then won't come marry slim babe.
Maybe the sleep.
Maybe we're black. Maybe and before now 10 years we get big
butt.
But Iman, calm down. If he be say he see something for that slim babe. When you know
but
say
he makes him say he compromise standard.
No, he not compromise. He upgrade himself. He not be compromise.
You know what?
Not be compromise. No. Not think am like that. He not compromise anything.
Okay, so why is he chasing? Why is he flirting with that his spec outside?
They will not be like,
why is he flirting with his spec?
His spec outside.
Yes.
They will not be like, look at it.
Like you get
like when you not come marry that one, you still flirt.
You not be flirting with his spec outside.
You see that one?
Why?
That's a different topic that we cannot delve into now.
Okay, good.
Men naturally, no matter what,
they like
are
variety.
promiscuous by nature.
Okay. How?
We have discussed this issue.
We don't discuss them before. Now I say more no delve into this thing deeply. More no delve into them deeply.
Let's not go into it.
There is a very high probability for a man, even a married man, to still look outside at the end of the day. Because men, our eye know they stay one place. Now so it be. No, not a loose man. Now so it be. It takes the grace of God, serious grace of God, serious grace of God.
If not because
for
of
a man,
religious belief.
I did tell you,
if not because of religious belief, if not because of religious belief, and then some form of morality, no be lie. Virtually all men.
Oh, that's like inbuilt, like inbuilt.
No, I'm not saying it's
inbuilt.
inbuilt.
So why is it there now? So why is it there? Why is it there?
It's not.
I agree.
I'm
it
telling
is
you.
inbuilt.
Sheyi?
It just depends on the man's character and the way he's willing to discipline
That's where I
himself.
want to come from.
And the percentage of men who are willing to discipline themselves that way is very, 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 very low.
So you're trying to tell me
I'm not saying there are such men that exist.
No, like you're trying to say it's a natural thing. So it now takes a man with extra effort to actually overcome that natural
thing. Yes. It's true. Very, very true.
Very true. Very true, Korodi.
What I want to say is that all this one that you're saying men.
Well, let's not leave the main topic.
That's human as a woman too, as a man.
That thing is there.
Nature to want to I don't know how to say
explore. So let's come back to the main topic.
As a personal, it's just like, do you not think of bad things?
Yes, we all do.
We all do. Good. Do you do them?
No.
So it's not gender based.
So it's not gender based.
No. What's the ratio of married women who cheat?
No, that's
like no wait. Like to you, like how many percentage of married women?
See,
no, like
women
based on the experiences the little
men.
experience you have from what you've seen so far.
Yes, ratio of women to
what
men.
What me I've been hearing, I think it's even 50-50 or 60-40.
No, right now, yes, because right now, before. 50, let's use before.
Yes. Because people are like, oh, this thing, you know, as a married woman. Maybe it was like 30 to or 40 to 60, you understand? But now with what's going on, with what we are hearing out there.
Whoa, true. You just wake up and all your kids are not even your own, and you think you're being cheated.
Yeah. So that's why I said that it's not gender based. That cheating thing is not gender based. It's just not like this thing. But you as an individual, you're going to make the decision and no, I don't want to cheat. And that was why I gave the example that we all think of bad things in our, by ourselves. Do you understand? But do we all do we do that? No.
It doesn't mean that me.
Because we have it's an inbuilt. We have the morality that corrects that no, you cannot do this.
No, not really.
Okay, so let's go back to the main topic.
Not really.
We need to discuss.
Let's come back to the main topic.
Discuss that later, but not really.
To the main topic.
I don't agree with you.
Now we're coming back to the main topic.
The main topic. Back to the main topic. I was saying that men don't drop their standards no matter how old they get.
They do.
If men drop their standards, you won't see 60-year-old men getting married to 20-something-year-old babes.
Wrong.
They do.
You won't see 40-something-year-old.
Wait, do you think he's getting married to a 20-year-old guy? Because
not be say you get money like that, but you go say I go marry better 26, 27-year-old babe. Where you go look and say, guy, how you think get this babe?
No.
Are you trying to say the guy? Men don't settle.
Men settle.
Men settle.
Men settle a lot. Men settle a lot.
What I would say is now, like, the preference for men change. So not that they settle.
Why are we using different diction? Why are we changing? Why are we changing? Why are we like settle and preference?
No.
Why are we saying settle and preference?
Settling
what influences preference?
When it comes to men, it's preference. When it comes to women, it's settling. Yeah.
Why is the diction changing for men and women?
No. Men settle, women settle.
Why is the language changing?
Men don't settle.
Men settle more than women.
Hey! Stop it!
I don't even know that one. But I know that men settle.
Men.
Guy, Erica, stop it. Guy! Stop that one. Stop that.
Men settle.
Men settle. Do you know that it's appalling? It's appalling how they settle.
Now our taste.
It's appalling. It's appalling how they settle.
Turning towards what you said. I think
it's appalling how men settle. Like to the last. No boxes at 6. They just settle.
Okay, wait. John. Let me ask you a question now. You know a guy now, for example, that he's always carrying fine babes every time. He did date fine babes. He did punch fine babes. Then he can't talk say he won't marry. You can't say the wife won't marry ugly. To you, he settled, Abi? Yes or no?
He settled now.
Because he don't carry fine babes. But when he won't come marry, now ugly baby carry.
He settled because he will not go and be cheating on her. He settled.
He will not go and be cheating on
So what's the use of him settling? When he still has those fine babes at his beck and call, doesn't that tell you he didn't settle?
That tells me that he's confused.
See, when we are talking of settling, no, it's not confused. No. See, when we are talking of settling, we are saying this guy does not have a choice again. He just has to make do with what he has. That's my own understanding of settling. That he not get any choice. No other person there for him except this person.
So
but these other people still there. That is not settling. He made his choice. He decided, oh, I've seen all this fine babes.
Really?
Now this ugly one, I want
pick. That's not what. That's not settling.
They be like, oh, time don't they go.
Like, guys, she don't disturb me. And now this girl agree, like, no time.
That's not settling.
It's settling.
That's not settling. That's not settling. Because the guy, you know, go carry person where you know, like, put for house now.
Still set.
So
you go carry person where you know like put for house, even if they pressure you.
Plenty guys don't do them now.
When they know like for anything.
Yes. Like a kind of like let's say like let me use one. Let me use one. Wait, let me use one. No, there's a royal family. And the rule of the royal family. Wait, not the same thing. Wait, and the rule of the royal family is any girl when you give belle outside. Yes, you have to marry her by force. That's still settling.
No, that was different. I'm talking of an instance where a guy has a choice.
What about guys?
No family obligation. No cultural obligation.
And then the girl ended up getting pregnant, and then they were like, "Oh, there's nothing you can do. You have to marry our daughter."
Who says so? And they will not force the guy to marry her.
Doesn't happen. Say it doesn't happen.
No, I know it happens.
So what were you trying to say?
I know it happens, but that one you can't. Maybe you can say it's settled, based on what happened.
Because
based on what happened,
it
is based on what happened that it's settled.
However you want to spin it,
you're trying to streamline. You're trying to box this conversation. You're trying to streamline. You're talking choices. You're talking settling side by side choices. These are certain actions that they have carried out that influence their choice to settle.
Wait, John, let me ask you. Let me ask you this question now. When someone is settling, when you say someone settles, does that person have a choice or not? Does he have a pool to pick from?
In some cases, yes.
Yes.
And he settles.
Yes, and he settles.
Yes.
That's not true.
Yes. That is true.
When someone settles, it means you don't have a choice. You just have to pick that person.
No.
You talk say this person give person belle. He no get choice. They don't tell him, say, you must marry him, you must marry him. He no get choice.
He had a girlfrend, but he just had a one-night stand.
And the girl now got pregnant.
Yes,
he doesn't have a choice. Because
he
himself, I'm sure,
his
family members, all of them would have already told him that, Ogbeni, you don't give this girl Bele. You must marry her. He doesn't have a choice.
No,
as far as he is concerned. But what I'm saying is, you can't compare it with a guy now. Where we say the example I gave earlier. You have fine babes. He now went to carry an ugly babe.
It happens.
He made his choice that okay, I don't want any of this fine babe. I want this one.
Why? Meanwhile,
Probably he saw that this one will be a good wife. She'll give me peace of mind. She'll be able to cook for me. She will answer to my beck and call. Unlike all these other ones. And he decided to choose her. That is not settling.
Okay, so what's okay?
He made his choice.
So what is happening? What is going on in marriages whereby the men, they were like, I didn't even like her, I just married her because of she was just available.
Yes.
What's going on there?
Because she was available.
Yes.
I've not heard that one before.
You have not heard because she was available.
You will not hear
like I just married the girl.
I married the girl because she was available.
I've even seen a scenario like that.
I know you will say you've not heard it before.
No, I'm not honest. I've not heard it. That she was just available. I don't understand.
Available to be married.
Available to be married.
Yes.
That's why I not married her.
There's no certainty that because you have a particular spec or something, it doesn't mean that you are going to eventually find somebody to get married to.
Men settle.
Women settle. I agree that women settle. Men settle. Because to a certain extent, they don't have that luxury of a choice to pick and say,
why?
Wow, you
as they age,
like fine wine.
Most times, let me tell you something. Shut up. Yes. Yes, they do. Yes. Let me tell you something.
I'm not talking.
Some of those girls, do you think that maybe they don't have any girl that is asking them out? It's because they probably just not seen their choice.
Aging.
Yes.
At 36.
Yes.
Because they've not seen their choice.
Yes. 45.
Why is it impossible?
What are you talking about?
Are you kidding me?
It's not as if maybe there's nobody asking. It's just so wait, Shay.
Don't let these girls come on. We already won comfort. Don't let them win you, please. No.
I've seen it play out.
I've seen it play out. So what you're trying to say that when you're 45, you cannot get married again?
Who? As a woman.
35, 36,
you don't have the luxury.
You do. You have a choice.
You do.
You don't.
You can make a choice.
You
can reject proposals.
You reject proposals. You go dead there at 45. You go dead there. You go old.
See, let me tell you something.
You go old. At 45, any man will come meet that woman. She go marry.
At 45, there are some men you can't get married to. Even at 45.
I'm saying, but at that point, you don't see.
You know what? Emmanuel, I think the image of the lady you are painting is maybe 13th century or something.
Yeah,
if you're thinking of modern women these days,
they
cannot be talking like this.
They will not care.
In Africa.
They would rather remain
in Africa,
Nigeria.
Yes.
Now lie.
Don't say that.
Now lie. Now lie.
To that part, yes.
lie.
It's
a lie. We have not gotten to that point.
Are you kidding me?
In Nigeria, we have not.
Yes.
My dear, we have not.
We have.
Whoa.
I don't understand
why you're kidding me.
It's just the few ones that people are looking up to like celebrity.
We kidded you now.
I'm not
a lie. I don't agree.
These are not even celebrities. These are not even celebrities.
The image of women you are painting in your mind is affecting you.
There's nothing like that. I say your family cannot even allow you at that stage.
They don't allow you. Say make you just stay.
How many women do you think can stand family pressure? How many? Can you stand? Even you.
Yes, I can.
You've not faced it.
Yes,
if you faced it, you will know.
Yes, I can.
Once you get to that point, I'll know if you can.
Man fit face a man who face pressure.
You've not faced family pressure. Can you face family pressure?
Men don't know how to stand pressure.
Hey, Jesus!
Men! Especially when they are bomb.
Joanne keeps shooting this gun this evening. Boom.
Men do not like
this one. We're not agreeing.
Boom.
If you're talking of anybody that stands pressure,
please.
If you're talking about anybody that stands pressure,
easily succumb. They could have been dating a girl for like 10 years, and then
before
their mom comes and says, "Look," and they cannot be like, "My mom is on my neck. She's standing on my neck. I can't help it." And please, she wants her. She found her, and they'll be like, "I said, you don't be like, are you telling me that you cannot stand and defend our relationship?" Like, you don't understand how my mom is. Men cannot stand pressure. Men cannot stand pressure.
Now women that thing they catch the most now. Not men.
Women are more strong.
What do you used to call this thing? What do you used to call it? My mama said. My mom said in Igbo. Name C or something. Mom C. This thing. My mom said.
You
and now brand And I was my mom said,
one Igbo man told you that. Oh shit. Oh.
Women are more strong-hearted than men. Men do not have the wherewithal to
especially when their
pressure.
moms start coming to tell them that see this woman, she's not from the
city
same
woman.
She's a city woman that will come
that will not be following other men. Look at how she's dressing.
See how she's dressing.
No, but he'll not be like, but I've been dating her.
It's like the picture people are painting is the 13th century picture.
Modern men, look at them. Modern men like you and Sheyi. Modern men.
Like push me and Sheyi from
where? Can you stand your mom's pressure?
My mom's pressure.
Can you stand her pressure?
My dear, see.
If she stands on your neck, can you stand?
Wait, let me tell you. I quarreled with my parents for months. I wasn't picking their call because of a babe. Not from my side.
I'm very firm about my beliefs and my thoughts, and I stand by them, regardless of pressure.
Really?
Yes.
You can face your family.
Yes, because I want my best interest first.
Even when your family say they will disown you.
No. Disown me. One. They will not even say they will disown me. Two.
Why?
Disown me to what?
Because you don't want to say what
like disown me to. No, it's not even possible. You can't disown me because
let's just say you are from that kind of family. No, let's work with that.
For the sake of argument purposes.
You need to think about it. You need to think about it. If you are from that kind of
See, guy, if you're firm-hearted, you'll be able to influence their opinion. You will be able to influence their opinion.
You will work with what we've said, or else we'll disown you.
To where? Cotonou.
Canada. We're Africans. You can't do without your family.
Whoa. Yes. Whoa. You
see, like this one, they say, you could not agree for the family.
Proven. You see what I was telling you? Proven. Just hear what Emmanuel said.
I'm not telling you that you should not defend, but I'm saying, can you do without your family?
Proven.
Do you know the place of a family?
So what you're trying to tell me?
So you're saying they're not toxic families. Like, they're not toxic families. And today their parents
are but the ratio to men is lower.
My dear.
No, wrong.
Men go against their parents the most than women.
Yes. It's difficult to find a man that is actually willing to go.
What he's saying is the truth. Let's not argue it. Let's not argue it.
It's difficult to find a man.
Is it when the men that especially when they are mom start saying,
especially when they are mom. They'll just say,
you see the women. I'm not saying some women can't be pressured. I'm not saying that they are. But don't come and say that a lot of women they will just
give in
like that and say that okay, I want to marry. Look, what you're trying to say.
A woman will even stand like
women. There's so many times they'll be like, oh, I'll force my family because they never even supported the marriage.
Exactly.
Like it's just me and my husband and my
exactly. Do you know that I actually know about a woman like that. So she actually thought her family was so wealthy, and then this guy, she actually liked him from her program. So she liked the guy and her family, they vehemently. Do you know, like she left that city they were in. She relocated with that man against, like for a year, even when she gave birth to her first child, like it was later like they came around, like she still tells her story and she's like, I stood by this man. Like it's not as if today he's like anything, like they're just fine. But still, like you can actually see the fact that okay, she's willing to go all out 100. Those women, that woman.
Do you know how many guys have done the same thing?
Do you know how many guys have done the same thing you are saying?
Do you know how many guys?
Now guys know they even send family safe.
No.
They bullshit family anyhow.
It's a lie.
This thing is saying. This thing is saying is.
Do you know the only part? Do you know the only time that men bullshit family are not is to engage in peer pressure? When it comes to the real thing, nothing.
I'm telling you, you don't know.
That's why she doesn't know.
Nothing.
She doesn't know.
I'm so saying.
For her to say that it's only when it comes to peer pressure, that's when men flex muscle.
That's when you flex muscle.
It's to the family that men.
You never see when man they claim papa and mama say I don't want to see people in my house.
Simple.
And what are you saying?
Yes. Yes.
Those ones are in the movies.
No,
which movies?
Which movie?
Which movie?
African Magic.
Even this one you said is in African Magic now.
Showcase.
Where that she left her parents.
She left her parents and went to another town.
Only in
African
Magic now. African
What's the name of the
epic. And most times the girl's name is Karu.
Hey!
Karu. Or Scholastica.
Honestly speaking.
But you guys, the good thing is that you know the truth.
What truth?
The good thing is that.
Back to the topic. I just know that it's not. There's nothing level. It's only female that settles.
I say it's only female. It's only female.
Wait, are you actually saying that it's only females that settle?
No, the both gender settle.
I don't.
Wait.
Some men may settle, maybe 2%.
May settle. Really?
You would never.
Shay, really?
Before you know it.
Before you see a guy that settles,
You've not met guys that settle?
It is the guy's
Have you met guys? Have you met guys that
what he prefers?
Oh, suddenly his preference when he got married to the woman, then his preference rebranded. There was a rebranding.
You know when a guy settles, like the example you guys gave. Maybe for example, he impregnated someone, and then the family said you must marry her. He has to settle for that one.
That's not the only.
But not
there
when
are some people
a guy is
pregnant.
still 30.
You'll not even be like, why did you now marry this girl?
Exactly.
He will pick his spec.
Do you understand?
Why did you marry
pick
this
his
girl?
spec now?
You'll be hearing things after a week of marriage.
Why did you marry this girl?
They're already fighting. They never even show this.
Like,
people that get married.
why? And he's already like.
It's due to other factors. It's not because he settled.
No.
It's due to other factors.
It's because he settled.
Probably he didn't know her character before. When he got in, he had now seen some.
He didn't know her character, but his preference changed. But he didn't know her character. I thought it was character that made him settle. No.
I didn't say it's character that made him settle.
So after
this is only
so
character.
1 week that you now saw her character. Before the wedding, you didn't see her character. After that one.
Her character adjusted. There was a shift.
Do you think you will know the character of your husband 100%?
Okay.
Yes or no? No answer. Yes or no?
Who is talking 100%?
You know the character of your husband?
Does he know his character 100%?
Wait.
Even him, he doesn't.
They always dull.
Even him, he doesn't know his character 100%.
Will you know the character of your husband 100%?
You can never know anybody's character.
So what are you saying? What am I saying?
But you should know enough. You should know enough for the marriage to be sustained.
Even you yourself. You cannot even know.
Your character, Sheyi.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
So you cannot know anybody's character.
So what you're just saying now?
But no, you should know enough. You should know.
It does not make sense.
You should know enough.
You just said now that have you not heard of situations where some people get married and after 1 week, 2 weeks they are fighting? I said maybe because when they got married, the guy discovered some vices she had that he did not know before.
1 week.
And you are tackling me on that. And now you just agreed with me that you cannot know a person's character 100%. So what are you saying?
I didn't agree with you. I said when you ask them, they'll be like, oh, it wasn't as if I liked that. I just wanted to get married to just
exactly.
Now lie. Now woman they talk that one. Not be man they talk that one. Now woman they talk that one. It's a lie. No guy will say that. No guy will say that. That I just married her. No, it's not possible.
You know,
I just married her. That what? No. I don't believe. I don't believe in that.
Just calm down.
Do you know what I'm saying? You cannot have issues. You cannot have issues in marriage after 1 week. And I know that you cannot know somebody's character 100%. I mean, people don't even know themselves 100%. But you should know enough to sustain the marriage. Like, why 1 week? Like, I don't get. How will you get married in 1 week and then you just scatter and then you tell me character? And again, remember you talked about.
Are you saying all those people that their marriage scatter after 1 week is because they settled? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Shay. No, I just wanted to clear that.
Shay, do you know what? Okay. Do you know the thing is that with this whole marriage thing, you can't just pinpoint and say this is that. But the thing is, when we're talking about settling, there are actually guys that just get married. You never even be like, no, still, like, why isn't it? Me, I beg, I just want to marry, like, no time, I just want to marry. Like,
I just want to marry person we are no like.
I just want, obviously.
Shay, what you're trying to say is
obviously, that's it.
Wait.
I just want to marry guys. Like, because I just want marry.
I just want marry.
Man, just carry this one, put inside house.
Speak for yourself. You can't just say that, oh, it cannot happen. Speak for yourself.
Exactly.
You cannot marry someone that you don't like. You cannot say every guy out there.
Guys will not marry somebody they don't like. No guy will marry somebody he does not like.
How can you say?
It's not possible.
How can you say no guy?
No guy. I'm telling you. He's married. He must see something where he like. Either maybe the babe get money or her family get money or something. You can't tell me that a guy will not marry someone that he does not like.
He doesn't like at all.
No. Don't tell me that. Now women they do that one because they don't look and say I need to. All my mates are married. Me too. I want to be married. Even if the man let it shall be a man. It shall put me in his house.
80% of men marry people they don't like.
80 what?
30.
You are an arm robber.
Up to 30%.
You are a bandit. You are a bandit. You are a bandit.
happy marriages. Yes, and it doesn't change the fact that
it doesn't mean that because
for women,
you understand
I agree.
It doesn't mean that because they are in an unhappy marriage.
What you're saying,
that now means that.
You know what you guys do? You just pick a part of the whole thing I've been saying, and then now say, oh, do you mean that?
Do you mean that what?
Quote me not. What I am
Why
saying.
shouldn't we quote you when you are saying it?
See, don't take it out of context. That's what I'm saying.
Talk.
Put it. Don't come and say, oh, do you now mean that unhappy marriages are caused by married people that you do not like? No, I did not say it.
So what did you say? What did you say?
Please.
I said, speak for yourself.
I'm speaking for the men race because I'm a representative of the men, and I'm saying it here now, and I will keep saying it.
And Sheyi, in fact, you will say to
me, it's not possible. It's not possible.
You'll be like, what? Like, it's shocking. Oh my God, I just need to know time.
Now I can't carry ugly woman put for house.
No one is talking about ugly or something. No one is talking about nobody.
Or you just carry somebody who does not like it.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now you're getting the point.
Let me just marry her.
Now you're getting the point.
In the long run, you get to like her. Probably.
I don't know about that one.
That one, if it happen,
can happen, bro.
If it happen, I'm not doubting that one. I'm not disputing that one. But what I'm saying is
that there must have been a
he go get something when the guy like
something. Yes.
He chose her. It's not as if
he
didn't have a choice. He chose her.
Exactly. Do you know what she is trying to do?
You know something. Some guys, they feel pick ugly woman. Say they won't marry this ugly woman because they know. Say if I put her for house, if I say sit down,
my peace they guarantee.
My peace, you don't get my point. So it's not as if he didn't have a choice. He could have decided to go for that figure 8 and put her in his house or another person. But because he don't know, say even put figure 8, if you don't tell her, make she sit down, make she sit down. So he decided to go for someone that he will talk to and that person will listen to him.
So you say
he had choices to make.
He
had options.
Yes.
When you're talking of settling, the person who get choice.
Are you saying now that? Are you saying now that for women?
Let me just
wait. Are you saying that for women now? For a woman now, when she's of age and all, even if she's
36, 37,
even if she sees a man that is right, everybody know him, he's a tough, she'll just be like, oh, my time is going and he's only this man.
If the guy says she won't marry him, she go marry him.
It's a lie.
I don't think it's true.
It's a lie.
I don't think it's true.
I
don't buy it to that.
What do you even think of it? What do you even think?
Exactly.
I think, you know one thing I'm going to say that the kind of women Sheyi rolls with is all those kind of women.
The kind of who?
The kind of women.
You are a bandit. You are a bandit.
Yeah. You're wondering. Who are you meeting?
Wait. Why would they hype on herself?
Why are you meeting?
Why would they hype?
I don't think women have
Why would I hype myself?
If you're meeting women of this age,
maybe before they get to that stage, they say maybe they want a guy that has too much money or all of this. But once they get to that part, they're now like, okay, this one doesn't have much, he has this.
But he has this.
Even men are being realistic.
That's what I'm saying.
You move from a place of fantasy to a place of reality.
Yes. Women.
Everybody moves from a place of fantasy.
Exactly.
Everybody. They toast to. Now man they toast woman. I mean, woman they toast man.
It's a
The two. Now you might ask questions.
The two.
Please hush, please.
Okay.
Talk to the hand, please. I'm talking to you. Am
He has
I
talking
talking to you? I ain't talking to you. Hush.
Anybody that likes you,
woman they toast
out.
man.
Yes.
You don't see where woman toast man.
Yes.
Okay, wait. Oh yeah. If person want to engage person, propose. Who they propose?
Okay, you didn't say proposal.
Calm down.
You said toast.
Man, answer my
question. You said toast.
Oh yeah, I don't come out. Oh yeah, I don't come out toast.
Oh yeah, where you don't enter.
Propose.
For propose.
You don't ever see a woman will propose to man say, will you marry me?
No.
Good.
But she go feel initiator.
Thank you.
She feel initiator.
She
feel no bring the ring down.
Okay,
As a man duty to
to propose.
If she initiate him, that's if they give the man clue, Abi.
Yes.
They make the man propose.
Yes.
So whose choice is it to make the proposal?
The guy now.
Good. What am I trying to say now?
That
it is the guy that makes the choice, not the woman that makes the choice.
Women still make choice.
How does she make the choice? She cannot predict who will propose to her now.
No, but she still has.
It just be like say woman now. I date woman now, for example. Okay, she likes me. She wants me to propose to her. I can decide not to propose to her.
And that one a different ball game.
No, be
but
different
she
ball game.
choose say now this kind of person I go like one day.
Bam. Now, me when she like, I not propose to him. But another guy she not too like the guy. That one propose to him. And she don't be 38, 39.
And you think she's
You think say she no go accept that guy proposal?
No, she's
she
not.
go dey wait for me?
She will not.
Let's be factual. Let's be factual.
In this part,
let's be sincere.
I feel she's going to accept this one because
Bam.
if this guy is wasting
your
time,
opinion.
No, it's not his opinion.
No. He's not speaking for us. No, she
doesn't. And she's saying that this guy is not going to say anything.
Wait, at what time?
What do you mean at what time?
At what time?
This one that is proposing. This one is proposing is responsible.
No, then you're saying she's settled. Then you're still saying she's settled.
Yes. Yeah, she's settled now. That's what we are saying.
She's settled.
That women settle.
Sheyi, remember, Sheyi, do you know what you're doing? Do you know you're doing that thing again? Sheyi, you're doing that thing again. That's what you always do. You bring a scenario and then you rope all the conversation into that. This is one scene.
I just gave you an example.
That's what
I bring a scenario.
What you want to say?
Bring that scenario.
Because
I know what you're doing, but this is one. Let's even agree. This is even
Joy.
one scene.
Exactly.
So you're not saying that women don't settle.
Give me another scene. Give me another scene.
You say all women.
Give me another
scene. So
scene.
what you're trying to tell me that all women that are 40.
Any woman that is above 37 would definitely settle. For any man she sees.
No, she will not.
So if she sees a drug or a drug addict or a mafian,
she will say she will change him. She will say she will change him.
She will not. Let me tell you. She will not. She's going to make her
lie. She don't go do like that.
She's going to make her choice.
She'll change the mafia.
She'll
say she'll change the mafia.
She'll say she'll change him.
You're even saying mafia. So you're telling me that a well-to-do woman.
Now woman language be that.
So
I will change him. Don't worry. When we get married, we will change.
Which one you're trying to tell me that a woman of let me say high caliber, or do you understand? She's working. She's making her own money. She's big.
Yeah.
She's not just. She's going to go and marry a riffraff just because she's 40.
She will touch him up.
No, she will not.
She will touch him up.
She will not.
She has the money. She will touch him up.
She has the money to go and marry a riffraff.
So
Let me tell you.
Are you saying it's not happening?
I'm not saying it's not happening,
Yes, what are you
but I'm
saying?
just saying that it's not in all cases.
Exactly.
That one,
Korede.
because she has decided to marry the riffraff. That is her own.
A woman is 38.
So she's just going to settle.
She no see person say, will you marry me? She can't see one guy. One guy just come out from nowhere.
One riffraff.
Let's even use your language, your words.
Yes.
Riffraff.
Yes.
Wait, you don't get money, you don't get car, you don't get anything.
The
guy she can't see say. The guy is not.
This guy go give him peace.
This guy go give him peace.
So because he's a guy, like so because
she
can't
propose.
The guy will give
the guy not propose to her. She will not say, no, I won't marry him.
He said this guy is going to give me peace. He's going to make a good
I'll wait for Prince Charming.
Let me wait.
No.
Even if you don't go give her peace.
I'm not talking about giving it. Giving her peace.
I'm not
talking about giving her peace. I'm talking about maybe just a random person that she doesn't even have anything for, or someone that.
Exactly, because before they get to that stage of actually knowing if she'll give him peace or not.
I don't think a lady will settle for that kind of person.
If you said this 20 years ago, 15 years ago, I would agree.
But today,
no.
Especially the girls like Korede that stubborn.
No, lie. All this thing I lie, John. What did they tell me?
No.
When pressure hits them where they go know what they happen. What are you?
So what you're trying to tell me that there are no women that are 38 that are not married?
A woman is 38, 39. When we say she gets serious respect for her family, she will contact say, no, I'm an independent woman. Independent waiting.
People that you are
my friend go and marry. What are you saying?
See. I don't need to argue with you honestly because you're actually
let me explain something to you.
I already understand
what they are saying is the truth. See,
I roll with you.
When you don't roll with me,
I roll with.
You don't roll with me.
I will not call a bank I roll with
me.
back in the days. One of our branch manager then, as at then I knew that she was close to 38. Since then till now, she should be in her late 40s. She's still not married. She get money pieces. Like, now baby go stay Saturday, just say, I dey go London, I will go watch Arsenal match. Now die hard Arsenal fan. She get mad money.
Why you think she never married?
She never married up to now. I dey tell you.
No, man,
so are men not coming to her?
No, men they come. Men they come.
Maybe she don't see. Why you think
she probably doesn't want to settle?
Maybe she don't see the kind of person she could
want.
That's even it. That's even it.
Don't say she don't get pressure.
I'll tell you why she's not married.
Why she not married?
She doesn't see herself under a man. That's why she's not married. It's not as if she don't see. It's sure for me, she go they punch some of those ones where they come to stand. They go they do them on a low key. But she doesn't see herself submitting to a man. That's why she's still not married. That's why she's not married. It's not as if she has not seen her spec.
Is this not choice? Is this not choice? Wait, Korede, is this not choice?
It's not choice.
So it's not choice.
She decided to stay unmarried. She doesn't want to be under a man.
Is it not choice? It's a choice. It's a choice.
The choice we are talking of here is choice of picking a woman, picking a man. It's not choice.
It's not choice.
It's not choice.
You're defining choice. You're giving choice your own definition.
Madam, it is not choice.
No, that's what you're doing.
And I will explain why it is not choice. Can I explain?
No, you
can I explain?
No,
you cannot. Do I have the floor to explain?
No, you don't have the floor.
Okay, then
just allow him to explain. Allow him to explain.
Can I explain,
please? Yes, you can explain.
Can I please explain?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you very much. Now, when I say it's not choice, this is why I say it's not choice.
You just be changing
this
this.
is
exactly.
This is a woman
if it
that.
was a man, if this was a man now, is it choice? Wait, if this was a man, if it was a man now, remove the woman, you say it's choice.
If it's a man,
you say it's choice.
Let's listen now. Let's listen to him.
Toxic masculinity.
Wait,
if it was a man,
let's listen to him first now.
If it was a man,
you say he chose.
That was in this scenario now. I won't say he chose. What I'm going to say is,
you don't see him being under a woman.
That is his person. He doesn't want to get married.
But this is not her person.
No, that is her own person too. She doesn't want to get married.
But she can't stay under a man.
It's different from I don't want to get married to someone who is not my spec. Get the point I'm making. There are two parallel lines. No, listen. There are two parallel lines. Just listen very well. Just listen. Don't worry, babe. Listen. Two parallel lines. I don't want to get married at all. Even if I see my spec. That's one line. Even if I see my spec, I don't want to get married at all. That is one. There is another woman that says, oh, I want to get married, but it must be my spec. There are two different things.
So these two things.
This one is said now. This one is said now. She doesn't want to get married, even if she sees
she told you that
a millionaire, someone that has money more than her, a Prince Charming, she will still not marry.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. Okay, let's agree.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. Agree.
She will still not get married.
It's a lie. That goes she said he wants to marry and she said no. I don't want to marry.
Well, like a woman like that, I'm telling you, she won't get married to.
Oh my God.
She has her own money. She's a career woman. What does she need a man for?
Thank you. Do you know what I'm saying?
My darling.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
No.
It's still choice. It's still choice. When you start saying, I do not want, when want is involved, it's choice.
It's choice.
It's still choice.
Related to the topic we're discussing, we said as women age, do their choice of a partner drop? That's what we are discussing. We are not talking about do they settle. We are not talking of a woman that has decided that she doesn't even want to get married at all.
Whatever.
But do they settle?
See.
This woman now, did she settle?
See.
For who?
For any of the men that have been coming because of that.
In his example.
Yes.
She didn't settle for anybody now. She's not willing to pick anybody.
But she does not have family that is pressurizing her.
She can decide and say, oh no.
She go.
Sir, I don't want to get married. It's not.
But
I don't want to get married.
Her, my friend, go and marry.
No, yeah, they can tell her to go and get married. And she will tell them that, oh, I don't want to get married.
These are the women that we want in your mind. Where you're thinking, not the 10th century women. We want this kind of women.
How many of them? How many How many women of today can decide and say, I'm not going to get married in this life? How many?
That was why I said that question. That if you said what you said, if you said it 15, 20 years ago, I will agree. But now, in this now,
are you saying that now babes are willing to stay unmarried for the rest of their life rather than settle? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that I'm not saying there are not some women. But you cannot say that
it's a thing for the female gender.
Some people say they are not even up to 30.
And they said yes.
Just because they want to get married early or something. But for you to say that all women in the whole of this world, they settle. You are nodding your head like a gamma lizard. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not possible. It is not true at all.
I hear you.
Even let me tell you, even some women that they are not even as rich as the person you're talking about.
Yes,
they will still say no. I'm not going to go and marry any
riffraff.
I'm going to wait. I don't care. Now, even now that
and if they don't see their spec, they will keep waiting till
it's not about spec. Nobody's talking about spec. They just don't want to get married to. That's what I'm saying. We all know that as you get older, you know your priorities change.
Yes.
Do you understand? It changes.
You are more in touch with reality.
You're more realistic about your choices, about what you want. You understand? You're not living in the fantasy that I want a tall, dark, and handsome. You're more particular about the attributes, the person's capabilities, his behavior, and what he can, his capabilities, whatever. Do you understand? What he can offer you. Do you understand? So you're not talking about, oh no, I want Prince Charming. No, he's not tall, he's not short, he's not. Do you understand? He's not romantic enough and something. Someone is talking about taking care of their bed.
No, we're saying you move from a place of fantasy
to
a place
of
reality.
You move from a place of fantasy to reality.
That's what I'm saying.
Reality.
Decide to pick someone.
That's what I'm saying.
I've kept quiet. Okay, I'll keep quiet.
And then at that age, and then she now go and be meeting someone, maybe a drunkard or someone that doesn't even have a job, and then they are working, they have their own money. So you think that at that age she'll say, just let me just come home, come in, put ring on my hand.
Let's go.
Does she have money or not?
Does she have money? Even someone that doesn't even have money would not. Even someone. Women that they even like to be taking care of.
Woman will not get money, no go marry drunkard now. Waiting they want chop.
But even if she has money, she should not bring him
up.
So wait,
let me a woman that has money that will come and buy. It's a woman that has money that will come. Now that women are even more enlightened, that they know that men are after their money. So it's a woman that will now want to come and buy a man that she will come and be feeding.
Yes. Then he will not have a wife in the village.
She wants everybody to know she has.
He will not keep a wife in the village that will be respecting him because he knows that he cannot expect that kind of. He will not get married one village girl.
She can choose not to respect him.
She
can choose not to adore him. She can choose not to cook for him. But she has a husband. That's what she wants.
So what is the husband there?
The husband is the man. Is the man. Just that man there. So that they will say she's Mrs. So. She doesn't need to respect him. She has settled for him. And that's it. That settles it.
Trust me.
Have you getting it? You get the point now.
Please, I don't get any point.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the president of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Hello and welcome to the newsroom. Here are the stories we're following at this time. 1.5 million candidates are expected to write the 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME in 708 centers nationwide. According to JAMB, the UTME will start today and end on Wednesday, May 3, 2023. Ahead of the 2023 UTME, the management of JAMB blacklisted 18 computer-based CBT centers and may not participate in the UTME. The Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, has disclosed that the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline project is now 70% completed. Giving an update on the project, Kyari says so far, a total of $1.1 billion has been spent on the $2.5 billion project. The gas pipeline project is a 600-kilometer facility with the capacity to transport 2 billion standard cubic feet of natural gas per day to 3 proposed independent power plants in Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, and other gas-based industries. The House of Representatives has imposed some charges, including 2% on profit of all renewable energy service companies in Nigeria executing renewable energy projects. The bill also has 5% charges on every kilowatt hour of energy sold and carbon tax at the rate of 5% on pump price of petroleum products sold by every marketer across Nigeria. With the new imposed bill, there are indications that the 10 billion naira additional investment occasioned by the proposed emergence of Nigeria's Electricity Act could become a mirage. According to the Union Health Ministry data on Tuesday, India has recorded 6,690 new coronavirus infections in foreign currency, which has since led to the free fall of the storing grenages and other explosives was the cause of the blasts. Barcelona says it has secured 1.45 billion euros in funding for redevelopment and renovation of the Camp Nou Stadium on June the 1st. The club said in a statement that the money had come from deals with 20 investors who would receive repayment over periods of between 5 and 24 years. Barcelona said they would start paying back the loans when the work was completed. Barcelona are emulating their Spanish rivals Real Madrid, who began the latest renovation of the Bernabeu Stadium in 2019. And that's it from the newsroom. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus from the surface to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the bend of your elbow or use a disposable tissue. If a tissue is used, discard it immediately into a closed bin. The most effective way to prevent the spread of the new coronavirus is to clean your hands frequently with an alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. This will eliminate the virus if it is on your hands. Stay healthy and prevent the spread of COVID-19.
The first time I was here to locate the Ghanaian cane weaving community, a Nigerian told me point blank that these Ghanaians will steal my money. I was curious and I wondered why these two nationalities who share the same profession would have such level of animosity between them. And I'm here to find out why. If you're familiar with Maryland in Lagos, it is difficult to miss this beautiful display of handmade cane crafts. Beneath the Maryland Bridge, linking the Ojota area of the city, cane-based products such as chairs of all varieties, living room seaters, house decor, as well as baskets of all shapes and sizes are sold here. But behind this lush display of artistic brilliance lies a culture of discrimination against the migrant population of Ghanaian cane artisans, one which has been in practice for decades now. Unlike their Nigerian counterparts, Ghanaian cane artisans are restricted to a remote part of this cane weaving community. So what is the genesis of this unfair practice and why has it been perpetrated for so long? To find out, we paid a visit to Monkey Village, just behind the Maryland cane weaving community where the Ghanaian cane weavers live and work. This is Monkey Village, right here in Mende, Maryland, Lagos, Nigeria. In what appears to be the outback of the area, Ghanaian cane weavers are not allowed to venture beyond these parameters. While Nigerians are allowed to display their products, Ghanaians serve as laborers who manufacture these cane products for a fixed price. 54-year-old Adeyemi Bolarinwa concentrates hard as he weaves this basket. His calloused hands work deftly, and in a matter of minutes, he finishes one of his orders. Bolarinwa's father is Nigerian, but his mother is Ghanaian. Despite his being a Nigerian, Bolarinwa cannot sell his products directly to buyers. it can only sell to a group of Nigerian cane weavers, who in turn sell directly to customers. It's a rule among the Cane Weavers Association here which restricts non-Nigerian cane weavers from dealing directly with customers.
They brought some job for one Nigerian man, according to the history, from 1986. Then the man delayed the job, and they saw another Ghanaian man. They went to, that's a Sheraton hotel. So they went to the Ghana man. The Ghana man did the thing in time as they want. So the contract go to that Ghana man. So then, now those people are the indigenous work against foreigners that they can share a place together. So the moment they granted that law still will work from 86 up to by this time. So Ghanaians don't have any choice to meet customers or something like sell in direct. So always we are in backyard that when they receive the order, they come and give us a job. That's the situation where we are facing now.
As migrant workers, Bolarinwa says he and other Ghanaians have no choice than to obey this restrictive rule. So they keep their heads low and make the best of their meager income.
A stranger cannot be like citizen, so we have no choice, and there's no any help. Because if someone came that we want to give you advance, they used to tell the person that this is a foreigner, we used to take your money around or something like that. So we have no choice. We are there in panic, and we just manage it because that's a handicraft. That's a hand job. We can't. That's my professional. No, actually, it's my professional. So anyhow, bear it. I'll manage it.
We asked Bolarinwa if the Ghanaian cane weaving community in Maryland had made any attempt to report to relevant authorities. He says no one has come to help despite many complaints.
We used to let people from Ghana embassy to come and interview us at times. But there's no help. There's no help. We try a lot. We joined their group, Nagacon and this and that, but at times, the way the thing they go, we see that there's no help. So the work will be like a struggle, with a struggle for our needs. Anyhow, we manage it and bear it.
It gives further details of the mode of operation between the Nigerian cane sellers and the Ghanaian cane weavers.
We arrange every basket within price, where it's a popular no. Then any quantity where the person want to come and book from you, he can give you advance. Then after finishing the product, we take your balance. That's the way we are going. Then I submit for them, I take my balance. Some people are pay cash, some people can give you in half basis. He can give you advance. When you finish, supply the thing to the who come and done the work with you. Then you take your balance from. We have no chance because there's no shade. He cannot give you, as a foreigner, he cannot give you shade to shade your market. They share by themselves.
Kwaku Noah is another Ghanaian cane weaver in Maryland. For 15 years, Kwaku has struggled to make ends meet due to the trade inequality he suffers.
Maybe the price we are going to sell for woman, and then the gain